Yeah, it's my first video, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but so I'm here to talk about some real shit that brothers and sisters ain't talking about. Things in the laws. There's a lot of things in the laws that a lot of brothers and sisters ain't going by. Basically, you know, that can't put no gods in front of your gods. So anything that he made under the earth, below the earth, on top of the earth, you know what I'm saying? You can't wear that shit, you heard me? You can't wear no fucking zebra print, flowers. You can't wear no fucking none of that shit that he made. So I'm trying to keep it real with y'all. Another thing, all that shit of the world, football, baseball, basketball, all that bullshit. We ain't supposed to be doing that either. All niggas sold their soul for a reason, for riches. You heard me? So, nigga, y'all supporting that shit. Y'all supporting basically the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast system. And y'all keep supporting that bullshit, knowing that all that shit was here for the system. If you see something really flourishing right now in this system, it's basically the mark of the beast, my nigga. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about my brothers and sisters. I'm talking to niggas right quick.
So that was Manuel Gil. Manuel Gil was a man that was following the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. Manuel Gil was following a channel called Rap the News on YouTube. Rap the News was a Hebrew Israelite who actually passed away, who had some bizarre teachings, to say the least. And I found this out through the stepfather, Ron Anderson. After I heard about this crazy story, I wanted to learn more. I was trying to figure out what church he was a part of, which group was he actually following. And I did some research, you know, by just putting in the step-parents or the stepfather and the mother's name on Facebook and Instagram. And I found Betsy Alvarado on Facebook, contacted her. I found Ron Anderson shortly after and contacted him, and he did respond. And he was the one that told me that they were listening to Rap the News. Now, initially, there was no clear indication of how this father and the two teens died. It wasn't any clear signs of struggle or any foul play or breaking entry. It looked kind of odd. The girls were covered in blankets, and they were able to tell immediately that Manuel Gil died after the girls died, which is strange, you know, and the cat was being fed. There were so many details about this that just seemed very odd. And a lot of these Hebrew Israelites online, of course, were saying that this is a crisis act. This is not real. It's a false flag, and these are a crisis act, which is what they always do, you know, usually do when there's a story that comes out in their community that makes them look bad. I want to do a live with Betsy Alvarado and the stepfather, Ron Anderson. So you might see something like that soon. I might get it on Vocab Malone's channel just to get a bigger audience, because they want to get the word out. Betsy and Ron, I applaud them for being so vocal, and they want people to know how dangerous these beliefs can be. The word finally came out. We were waiting for the toxicology report for almost 7 months now, I think, maybe more. And it finally came in, and the word is that they actually starved to death. And this is strange because when I was trying to learn more about Rap the News, I came across a video where he's saying that you're not supposed to starve yourself to death, even if all you have to eat is abominations or are abominations like pork and things like that, so it was very odd to come across something like that, and then now realizing that these people actually starved to death.
And so what does it say? Ecclesiastic 4, number 5. Fools will fold their hands up and starve to death. Let's look at your face when I say that. Fools will fold their hands up and starve to death. You fool. You peon. Fools will do what? Fold their hands and starve to death. I'm wise. If that rat run past, he ate. If that swine run past, it's ate. But under duress. Not I'm going to eat some pig because I want to go against the Most High and Levitical, the rules and regulations. No, I'm not going against God whatsoever. When God is telling you, fools fold their hands and starve to death, and we can eat every motherfucking thing we want to eat.
So that was Rap the News, who passed away in December of 2021, shortly after Manuel Gil and Adriana and Marielle Gil passed away. Now, the stepfather of these girls told me that they were listening to Rap the News. And when you go to Manuel Gil's YouTube channel, you can see that his last video, he posted a video by somebody named Deshaun Whitehead, who mentions Rap the News a lot all throughout his channel.
I miss our brother, but the Most High is so fair and just. Every time Rap made a video and he mentioned me, because he saw something in me that I still don't see.
So I just wanted to go through it and show you that Manuel Gil was posting videos about Deshaun Whitehead. And then you can go to Deshaun Whitehead's YouTube page and see that he's referencing Rap the News constantly. But this is the video here. I'm not going to play the audio. It's just really just a bunch of garbage. And Rap the News came out of Great Millstone. Great Millstone, or GMS, is already insane crazy. Rap the News took it to a whole nother level. I mean, Manuel Gil was saying that you can't wear clothes with leopard print or animal print. You can't play sports. You can't do art. Like, these people are insane. They think all of this is somehow connected to Illuminati, and this is like some paranoid schizophrenia type stuff.
The King County Medical Examiner finally revealed what caused the mysterious tragic deaths of a Renton father and his 2 teenage daughters who were found inside their apartment in December of last year. I'm Gary Horker at the KIRO 7 Live Desk. The medical examiner in King County said the 3 simply starved to death today. As KIRO 7 reported back in December, the King County medical examiner could not find any clear cause of death for 33-year-old Manuel Gil and his daughters, 17-year-old Adriana and 16-year-old Marielle. Their bodies were found in the 300 block of Factory Avenue in an apartment on December 11th. Now, investigators delayed releasing this new information until blood toxicology tests could be completed. The results showed no drugs or alcohol were involved, no trauma, no foul play, and detectives said their apartment was unusually tidy. Well, testing now concludes all 3 people were extremely emaciated with no food in that apartment. Detectives say they found written materials about fasting on the tables. Back in December, the girls' mother told KIRO 7 the girls and their father had become brainwashed with religion. Manuel had reportedly joined an extremist fringe group of the Black Hebrew Israelites. And the girl's mom told us at the time that made her deeply worried, and she even called CPS. Because of these circumstances, the adult father's cause of death has officially been listed as suicide.
There's so many pictures here.
Betsy Alvarado's home is full of photos of her kids.
This is Adriana, and she was the sporty one. And this was Marielle, and she was very artsy.
Those photos are all she has to remember them by.
They did everything together.
In December 2021, the 2 sisters and their father, Manuel Gil, were found dead inside a Renton apartment. 7 months later, the King County Medical Examiner ruled the cause of death for all 3 was starvation. But the manner of death for the girls, still undetermined.
It made me very angry because to me there is no undetermined.
According to the medical examiner, all 3 were emaciated and there wasn't food in the home. Investigators found written materials about fasting. Their father's death was ruled a suicide.
His death was considerably after that of the girls, somewhere between 5 to 10 days, he would have known what was going to happen if he continued not to eat.
According to the medical examiner, their deaths are undetermined because there isn't a way to know their state of mind and intent.
Their state of mind was fear. That was their state of mind. Do what daddy is saying that we have to do to not burn in hell.
You're making it sound like they had the decision in order to, if that they were going to eat or not, and to take their own life or not. But they were children.
Betsy believes Manuel's extreme religious beliefs led the girls to cut themselves off from the world. She says Manuel followed a sect of the Black Hebrew Israelite faith, which has been categorized as a hate group according to the Southern Poverty Law Center.
He sat in the house with them for 5 days afterwards. He didn't call for help or nothing like that. So what's undetermined about that? He did this to them.
Renton PD says the ruling wasn't what it wanted either.
It is not an outcome that we are satisfied with. Unfortunately, it is what we have at the present.
Alvarado says she called Child Protective Services to report concerns regarding the girls' well-being and never heard back. Now she wants the case to stay open, but Renton PD says they need people with intimate knowledge of the two girls and their father to come forward.
Undetermined is not an acceptable thing. Like, my girls are gone. The least that they should get is justice.
In closing, I just want to say this is the saddest story I've ever heard in my life. Like, this has to be one of the saddest stories I've ever heard in my life. I can't think of anything sadder than a father watching his two beautiful daughters starve themselves to death, slowly dying pretty much in front of his own eyes. And I have to imagine that these girls were scared, just like Betsy was saying. My kids, when they're hungry, they're going to complain. I don't believe that these girls just sat there and died. It was Manuel Gil's responsibility to keep food in that fridge, to make sure that his daughters were well fed. When I was a Black Hebrew Israelite, we fasted. The Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ and most Hebrew Israelites, if not all of them, do preach that you need to constantly fast unless you're pregnant or something like that. The Day of Atonement is the one day that it's mandatory to fast. 24 hours, no food, no water is how Black Hebrew Israelites fast. Because I know Muslims, when they fast, they still drink water. Black Hebrew Israelites don't drink water. You can't survive without water for more than like 3 or 4 days, especially young girls. You know, you can survive without food, I believe, for up to 3 weeks maybe, but water is needed. The most I ever went fasting was 50 hours straight, and I couldn't function. That 50th hour was horrible. I mean, this man had to see that his daughters were getting pale, were, dehydrated, probably hallucinating. When you get to a certain point from not eating, drinking water, you start to lose your mind. So this is one of the saddest things I've ever heard. Adriana Gil, Manuel Gil have to be remembered. This falls upon this man, Manuel Gil. These were daddy's little girls, you know what I mean? This is how my daughters are. Daddy's little girls. They wanted to live with their father. You know that they had a special bond. They trusted this man. And I could only imagine what these girls went through. You know, it's one thing to die instantly. You know, from 1 second to the next, the person's gone. But to watch your own children die slowly is one of the most horrible things I have ever heard. And Manuel Gil deserves to be shamed and condemned. And these Black Hebrew Israelites and Rap the News, I don't care if Rap the News preached that you shouldn't starve yourself to death. He was preaching a doomsday scenario where we're living in the end of times, and it's urgent, brother. It's like a damn car salesman saying a limited time only. They do this to cause urgency, to make you think, I have to act now. And you don't think rationally. Manuel Gil quit his job saying he needs to get right with the Lord. And the scriptures talk about fasting and how that gets you closer to God. In Hinduism, there is a thing where you starve yourself to death slowly, and it's not considered a suicide, and it's honored, as a religious practice or something. And it's like, this guy, there's no indication that he was following anything like that, because as far as we know, he was following Hebrew Israelite stuff. But when you believe that the world is going to end soon, and you might think you have to, wash away all your sins, Manuel Gil must have been in this, like, crunch time mode where, the Lord is coming fast, and we need to get right immediately. This is the only reason I can even imagine why a father allow his children to die in front of his own eyes from starvation, which this is his fault. I have to put the blame on him. These girls were 16 and 17. The fact that you come into a place like Black Hebrew Israelite, this type of cult, this type of belief, it changes your whole entire life. It derails everything in your life, where now this is what's most important. And these girls were just following their father, who they thought had their best interests in mind. And this is just sad. So I want to just give a shout out to Betsy Alvarado, Ron Anderson. Thank you for contacting me back, for responding. I hope that this video is sufficient. I hope to talk to you guys soon. Stay strong. And everybody out there, you gotta be aware of what's going on here in your community. If you have any family that tells you, oh, I just joined this church, and guess what? They're telling us that we're Black Hebrew Israelites. Please contact me and ask me what you need to, what do we need to know? How do you respond to this? I know how to respond to all these things that they say. Any of these teachings from Deuteronomy 28, Jeremiah 14, Revelation 1, all of these chapters that these guys typically go to, I know the responses. This is a bullshit doctrine. They derail whole lives, whole families, destroy whole families. And then who's left to pick up the pieces here but the family that were not in this Black Hebrew Israelite cult? These are the people that are hurting now. If you Black Hebrew Israelites out there talking about this is a false flag and these are crisis actors, you guys have not done sufficient research. You guys make no sense. And it's you should be ashamed of yourself for even thinking that and saying that. When you have family, you have a mother who's crying, who's hurting here. And you guys say this is all a false flag based upon what? I saw a member from Sakari. He made a whole video referencing this story and saying that he found an article, and this is a low budget ass news article that he found online, where just because it said that the father was a Black Hebrew Israelite and the girls were Hebrew Israelites alone, not Black Hebrew Israelites, that because of that discrepancy, this means that this is a false flag. That doesn't make sense. If somebody manipulated such a grand scheme like this and got away with it, and then you're saying that, oh, you found a mistake because here it says Black Hebrew Israelite, and then here it only says Hebrew Israelite. Ha, they made a mistake. I found them out. Like, come on, man, this is stupid. You found a low-level ass fucking low-budget news article that made a damn mistake, and you think that this has to do with it being a false flag? You guys are insane.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. This is your Tablet to Sakari, and I'm back with another video. And you guys saw the intro. It looks like we got us another good old psyop on our hand, right? I mean, this thing just reeks of a psyop. It's crazy.
But go ahead and comment. I welcome you guys to speak your mind, Black Hebrew Israelites. Whether it's stupid, whatever the hell you want to say, you have the right to be an idiot. So go ahead and comment. Shabbat shalom.